as we move on to the data science and all, a bit more about data uh, with an example, like, because you've been saying forecast, so that immediately took me to weather and all. So does
Okay.
also data plays a very important role in
Oh, yeah,
forecast, and
absolutely.
how it can be, that can be very interesting for us to listen to as we move on,
Right,
because it's something
absolutely.
which we have every day, right? The weather
Right,
forecasting.
absolutely. How
Yeah.
we study the data patterns on the weather and do a weather forecast. Very good question. Now, let's say I take a 4 cities, okay? Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, 4 cities, or may include Calcutta and other metropolitan cities. Now, every other geographical location have different kind of climate. So in the morning when you get up, you browse through your app. I don't know whether you browse through your app, and then you see, like, between from the morning until the night, there are different kind of like temperatures. I don't know if it does very much fluctuate in India or not. It starts with, let's say, in the morning, in some place it's 10 degrees Celsius, in some other place it is 30 degrees Celsius. So what we do, these data which are coming to us in a unstruct, like in a format, we have a database of that. Okay. And in this database, let's say you want to analyze like how it would be today in Hyderabad. You get the different time points from morning 6 to 12 at midnight. So you have different time points. You want to know that at 2 o'clock, what would be the pattern of the weather. Okay. So you can see between there are various statistical mechanisms where you can figure out what was the trend in the morning and how the climate can substantially change, because you already have the data collected. It is always already in the system, and you have different elements to that. You have different parameters. You have different time points on that. So on that basis, you can predict prior 4 hours to post 4 hours. You can predict with the data elements into taking into consideration. And then also, say, let's say at 2 o'clock, you will see the temperature has gone to 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, you have a historical data, we call it historical data, like every other day of the week prior to that. What was the weather during 2 to 6 p.m. So you know that between this time, always you have a temperature between 20 to 25 degrees. So based on those dates, you can also forecast that this is going to be the estimated forecast of today's weather. But it can change, because when you start in the morning, you are getting the your updates, like the weather pattern, the wind patterns, various other elements taken into consideration. It can impact your climate. It is not always that whatever you had in the previous 5 days, it will always reflect on the same day. It is also the day time points you can calculate through that. So students, can you see the right side where I have this a circle, which is a model for a data science model, we call it, how we develop the data. The first is, very important part is to capture the data. The right data we have to get. That is, when we get the data, we have to do a data entry. It's just like coming in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, about the data are coming in an Excel spreadsheet or various other tab delimited text files or any other files. So when the data comes in, then you have to do a cleansing first. That all the data which you are getting is not coming in a like structured way. So you have to do a data cleansing. Then you have to do some data entries too. You have to do data entries, because some of the places you will see the data are coming which has a missing like records, various records in there. So you have to get those data also filled up. Otherwise, when you do the analysis, there will be errors. because the database don't like null values or the blank values. They don't like it. So mostly if you want to capture all the data, that is very important for any kind of analysis. If you don't have data, then it's very difficult. So the stage involves gathering raw structured and unstructured data, as I said. Then once it is captured, then we maintain it. Then we data process it, then we data clean it, then we create the data architecture. So architecture, basically, once you are done with this, you have to put it in a framework, right? So that is the framework why we call it is an architecture. So you have to, like, in your mind, you have to visualize like how my data would look like. Okay. So let's say you have a first name, you have a last name, your date of birth, your age, your race, your ethnicity. These are the information, the demographic information you have. And now you want to have it in the database. So you did all the cleaning, you extracted all the data elements, you put it into the system. Now you have to develop what you are looking for. What is this demographic information you are looking for and why is it important, right? So there comes the data architecture. So that the raw data and putting it in a form that can be used. Then we process it. That's called clustering. That's called data summarization. As I said, that many number of people, the students in a classroom, your first name, last name, whatever there. So we can, from there, you can calculate like how many students are there in one classroom, each classroom, how many students are there in different grades, how many students are taking up science stream, how many are interested in the art subject. That is what we are looking for. That is called the visualization part of it. That is also a clustering, a different segmentation, data summarization part goes on. Then we do, once we have this, then we do the analysis part. Then we do the regression. So regression modeling is, it's the very important, and that's the most important in any kind of data analysis. Is once you get all this information, then we are getting an information like this number of students are interested for science, a number of students are interested for art subject. Okay, now based on those data, you can predict that in a time frame given, now you guys are all in 7th grade, so your interest will change. And the coming years, you might not feel the same amount of interest in science. You might shift to a accounting like thought process. So that's what we call a predictive analysis. Okay? That's what we call a prediction modeling. So this is one analyzing for, and then the other one is a communicate, which is the data reporting. And there are various kind of decision making takes place in this step, where whatever information you gathered from the data, we are interpreting this and analyzing this and preparing the reports for the management to take a better decision. Now, once you have all this data, then you put forward to your principal, sir, that the principal sir will analyze everything. Okay, this many students have an act for maths. So, okay, this number of students who are low in or weak in these subjects, the math subject or history or geography, then they will then they know this student is not capable enough to handle mathematics. So they will recommend, based on this, they will recommend that you should take up this subject because this is your strength. This is not your, the maths is your weak area. You should focus on the history because that's where we have seen the pattern that you have scored the maximum number of marks over the session. So I think that's where I'm talking about the principal, because then or a counselor or whoever it is, who is the head of the institution, will decide that this student is better and they do better if they take up this subject in the higher grades. That is where the decision making comes.